And there we go. All right. I hope Parserex could join us later in the time. And I do expect people to go missing time to time on the December. So for now, if more than 2 people go missing, then I will be looking for a new person or one more person to increase the number to 5. And hopefully the person doesn't go missing when we're doing that person's arc in specific. Good that this arc in specific is not strictly tied to anyone, so that's good. Yeah, but anyhow, we'll start right off. So last time in the session, you guys went into this forest that you guys currently do not know the name of. And in the town, while gathering some information, you guys met a few of the people working for the dwarves, which is a mercenary company that is named as Clasping Monkeys. And you guys met Hore, who had this ridiculous clasping, how do you say, metal thing. Oh, I forgot what's the name.
Cymbals, tamarines.
Yes, he has cymbals on behind the back, so that whenever he walks, the mechanism makes a huge noise, dragging all the attention surrounding to this guy, Hore. And he didn't seem to be very satisfied with his current position in the job, and he begs all of you to do well on this job so that he may get a promotion or whatnot to get a little bit more power, maybe get rid of that thing on his back. And in the town, when you were gathering information, you guys also met a woman named
Thala Strongheart?
Yes, Sala. You guys met Sala, and she introduced all of you to some information regarding the Diamond Forest, where the bee folks, so-called Lapidans, are living in the Diamond Forest, and they have a queen in the Diamond Forest, where currently they seem to have a pretty good time and have got a pretty good security as far as she heard. And many of the adventurers seems to be going back and forth from this town into Diamond Forest, looking for quests and jobs to complete. And thinking that you guys are going to Diamond Forest, you guys embarked the journey. However, on the way, you guys noticed that this is not the Diamond Forest. And the princess that you're trying to organize for a welcome party, some sort of introduction party, you guys haven't heard exactly the detail, but you guys arrived to the town after killing a few of the crocodiles on the way. Although you guys noticed that swamp is not a very safe place to go without any preparation. And went back into the town. And in there, you were greeted by many of the bee folks surrounding. They were harvesting honeys, and they had many of the smaller houses on top of the treetop. And many of them were calling you aliens for some reasons. And they seemed to say that they were surprised to see this type of aliens in this new lands. And many of them seems to be friendly towards you, although not many of them were totally comfortable with talking to you folks. And while you guys are approaching, you guys saw a big wall that was made of, oh my god, my English is dying here, wax, bee wax. You guys saw a giant house made of bee wax, and you guys went close to there, meeting a general who introduced himself as, and he was bringing you guys into the town. And as you guys go into the town, you would notice that this is actually different from expectation. Inside, with the very bright light shining, you guys see many of the buildings in here are actually resembles you of the cities that you guys saw in the islands, with the stone structures, although many of them seems to have crumbled and seems to be kind of put together hastily in a way. And many of the bee folks seems to be putting beehives to reinforce the broken structures now, but it seems like the settlement itself, is inside, looks quite humane, more humane than what you thought of. Although you can tell that there are some giant flowers that are growing in here and there, and many of the people seems to be harvesting some of the honeys in there too. And generally not paying too much attention to the surrounding, he would march into the town and will be going to the center of the town. On the way there, you guys would be greeted by many of the people surrounding, saying that, "Oh my God, it's the aliens! We've never seen them before." And many of the people being surprised by you. And you have some time to look around and whatnot. Is there anything that you guys like to do while moving to the center of the town?
We were being escorted by the general, correct?
Generals and the soldiers, and soldiers are currently beside you, kind of flying towards the 5 feet on the air, hovering. You can ask questions. You can
From
look
our
around the
previous
town.
trek through the swamp,
Yep.
maybe best to get some health potions. But I feel like the princess is more important for now.
Okay. You could try to, however, on the way, try to look on the sides to see where the potion shops are, or think of like
Yeah,
the currency.
I'll keep an eye out, but I'm not gonna ask us to detour.
Yeah. Just make a simple perception check. That should be good enough if you were to discern information from just looking around. And is there anything that you two guys like to inspect or see from the town in general? Religion and lifestyle, what they eat, what they do.
I guess I want to be like as very observant, like it's not a culture I'm familiar with. So if there's like any like repetitive habits that they do, or if there's like any way that they greet each other, or do they have like signs labeling thing, or do they just instinctively know where stuff is at? Just like, you know, look at them the way they're looking at me, and just trying to get a grasp of how they function.
Okay. Roll for insight. It's kind of weird, I guess. Yeah. How about Joffrey? What do you like to observe?
Mostly just kind of get an idea of what they eat around here.
All right.
If they have food stands or anything like that.
Roll for investigation.
Investigation.
Also, if you look at you when he's not like looking around the shops, you see him.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
Nani, are there any like of the like houses up in the trees where we're walking, or is the city all on the ground?
I say that that's included in your perception. Sure, why not? If you were to look around the general city and how it is conformed, and many of the towns are built on top of the buildings. This area does not have many trees inside. It gives you an impression that it is built on some sort of old town of sort that have been crumbled before, and many of the beehives are built on top of them instead of the thing. So imagine like in countrysides in America, like on the old houses where there is a beehive on the top of the roof. Think of it in that sense, where the buildings are being inhabited by the beehives on top.
Okay, so it was really only outside of the walls where there was like buildings up in trees and such.
Inside of the wall, there are no buildings. There are no trees. I'm saying, oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good for.
There would be some trees for view purposes, but mostly is flowers, and there are very little trees inside. That is what you realize in your perception if you look around. And while Sunny is trying to inspect how the people lives, and you feel like inside the people seems to be generally regular people. You have a general sense that, except that they are flying, and many of them seems to be carrying around this jar of honeys, and they seems to be using that, like usually carrying around and drink it, and they seem to be talking in common mostly. You do not hear any languages that you do not notice, and most of the customs, I would say that you do not see any unique customs, at least with your insight.
Yeah. Hey guys, they're bees. Look at the bees.
Yeah. Oh, but they're surprisingly resembling to the regular society that you see in the places.
Okay.
Yeah. And Joffrey, while you're investigating their food habit, you're mainly focusing on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we look yummy to them?
And while you're looking, you see absolutely no source of regular human foods. They at least the one that uses fire. Most of the food seems to be pretty raw and plain. There are some meats. It seems like there are some meats, but mostly is the flower honeys. And occasionally, you see these waters that seems to be glowing in bottle. You don't know what they are, but you kind of see them, and they seems to have it on the stocks and be trading here and there. Although, if you were to with 17, if you were to look at how they trade in terms of people, they don't seem to be using regular currency, the gold that you guys would be using.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But can I tell like what they're using instead of gold, or are they just kind of like trading items between each other?
It seems like the bees are taking steps without giving anything.
Okay.
Oh, it's a freaking hive mind type thing.
Communism.
Communism. Whoa. Anyhow, while looking around this new town that you guys just have arrived, and many people are giving you some attentions, you guys arrive to the very center of the town, where in there you see very big buildings of sort. You think that it must be some sort of magnificent building before. Imagine the English Big Ben in a way in the center of the town. Pretty tall. This one seems to be about 7 stories tall, although it seems to be heavily infested with the bees and the waxes around. And on the very top, just like the Big Fan, there is like the really big clockwork that seems to rumble down. Although some of you would recognize, if you have some experience with the gnomes in the past, that those mechanisms stopped working for quite a while, it seems. And first, the bees stopped in the very front. And as you're approaching, before you even get there, however, immediately a swarm of bees from the very top seems to come down from the very top of the hives, and hordes of bees, along with the very few of the very well armed compared to the one that you have been meeting, comes down front, and you can't quite see what is going on behind them, as there were quite numerous number of them, and not numerous. There's like they're just blocking the sight from each other, and as they all come down and they split in half, and as they split in half, you see a one distinguished female bee, only you can assume to be princess. And she seems to be wearing a wooden crown that seems to be made decorated with some of the flowers and as well as the vines. And the clothing that she seems to be wearing seems to be quite primitive compared to the ones that you guys have seen in the town, as she's wearing the ones that are made out of leathers and the plant materials with leaves and whatnot. And in your perspective, you cannot quite tell how how old this bee is. However, you can quite tell from the generally looking at the people. She is one of the few female ones, and only bees that you have seen in the town so far have been male. She's clearly a unique one, and generally a little bit smaller than the other bees so far. And without any concerns of safety, she dashes towards all of your directions, and you can tell the surrounding bees seems to have like a stern face or the shock in their face as she's approaching you. And who would be at the very forward among all three of you?
I think we decided me because I was like a little bit more familiar with the local species.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know diddly squat about the local species.
I'm further in the back, if not in the back.
Alright, so I'll order the...
I'd stick to the middle.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 in order. And I'll say the Aravan is... yeah! He's somewhere. Usually
He wandered off.
Yeah. Usually I have a character fades off and I never talk about him. If the person is not there, that's how usually I roll with it. So that is that. And yeah, this female bee rushes towards Sunny and grabs your short turtle hands and says, "Oh my God, adventurers! Welcome to our village. I'm Selenik, the princess of this town hive. We haven't quite figured it out yet. Maybe colony that we're gonna call it. But yes, I hope all your journeys here have been good. And hello, friends." And she goes to you two, and she'll try to shake your hands as well, both of you.
I'll shake her hand with Mage Hand. That's going to be kind of my thing.
Just
to freak her out.
Okay.
he goes to shake his hand, and then his other hand stops it and pulls it back and says, "No, don't do that." And he looks a little confused a little bit, but that's use action.
And she goes like, "Oh, I thought that this is a correct way of shaking hands, right? Saying greeting between islanders."
These are probably the only 3 people you're going to meet that don't do this right.
Yeah, we're kind of a weird bunch here.
Don't let's set the example for what future people you meet are going to be like.
Okay. Previous parties mentioned that they would have some, they would shake hands like this. But good to know that there are other ways. So are they unique, or are they?
You just got an eccentric bunch showing up here, so.
Oh my God.
We're the weird ones.
But yes. Well, I know. I heard that there's a lot of different islanders hereby and there. But welcome, all of you, adventurers. So, are you all familiar with the parties? Parties that we're gonna host pretty soon?
Sorry, my internet's just sucking real hard.
Could you tell us more information?
Oh, of course. And where are my minds? I'll say that we should probably talk inside. You must be very tired from getting all the walk here, and although it has been a very long time that we have been waiting, but hopefully they re-prepare the foods for you.
Sounds good.
I'm actually quite famished.
And she steps back and says, "Good. People will get ready for you." And many of the bees that flew with her kind of goes two of those goes besides you guys, 2 of them each, and they attempt to grapple your arms.
Oh, I just let them.
Yeah.
Smile at them the whole time. Hey, what's up, guys?
Like in a grappling sense, like.
They like hold your arms like this, like.
Yeah.
Just go with it. They're probably gonna fly us somewhere.
Hit them hard. Push them in the face.
Really hard on his good voice. Really hard on his good voice. He concentrates on the light.
Oh, okay. And those bees that grabs both 2 of you flies to upwards without any problem. However, the 2 of them that were grabbing Sunny seems to have a huge problem flying, and they kind of lifts up like 1 feet, and they go, and then they turns around,
more bees.
and 2 more bees joins up. They kind of go up 10 feet, and all of them seems to be exhausted, and soon about 8 bees kind of swarms in and seems to be grabbing Sunny in all directions and lifting Sunny slowly, like they move a very delicate stone statue. And yes, you do.
Oh, it's roll 20. I want to do a roll. Wrong button.
Wrong button.
When he is about 10 feet up, his side with the red eye just kind of freaks out and tries to yank loose of the bee's grip. And a voice comes out and says, "Don't you touch me with that dirty insect on my ears."
Okay.
And then he snaps back and he's like, "Oh my God, no." And he's trying to get back. Like, "No, catch me."
Yeah. Oz, you're kind of registering in one way or the other. It goes kind of wobbles too. And says like, and both of the bees on the sides are like, calm down. We're just ripping you up, ripping.
And then he goes back to concentrating on the light and the good voice.
Yeah. No face punching. All right. And all of you will be lifted up quite high. As I mentioned, this is about 7 stories high, and each story is about 12 feet high. And at the end, you guys be on above the air about 80 feet.
Okay. Don't
Sounds
drop
about
us.
Yeah.
Please don't drop us.
Yeah. And the final floor, I believe, is about 90 feet or so, and you guys arrive to the very top of the floor where some of the walls have been in the crumbled place. There's this restructured as an entry. You imagine that there is a like black hole where you enter from it. Although, unlike the regular beehives, inside it seems to be lit with some sort of flowers. Is it like a firefly type of thing flying around? Not actual fire that seems to be lighting up. Some sort of magical flower that seems to be lighting up the internal structures of those. And if you were to go inside, there are some of the walls still present, and as well as the floors that have been reinforced with woods and bee waxes. And if you were to go inside, there is a tables, pretty big ones, that seems to be rearranged by many of the servants bees that seem to be going back and forth and trying to bring the foods out. It seems like they seem to be putting this effort pretty hastily. As you can tell that from the smells, you guys can tell that these foods are probably extremely sweet in terms of the general smells. That you can tell quite a bit of sugar coming from the foods that they
Sala was prepping us.
Yeah. Like, does it smell like that stuff we drink?
Not as strong, but all the foods that they have in here seems to smell strong. Pretty strong in terms of sugar. Compared to if the Dala was, if these foods are 6 out of 10, Dala's food was 11 out of 10. So, whoo.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So basically, if we can handle her stuff, this stuff will be fine.
this stuff's fine, yeah. And the sugar, I'll say, is like 5 sugar foods, yeah. And there is most of the foods, as I mentioned, seems to be mainly fruits and vegetables, and as well as some of the meats, but they are uncooked raw meats that they are serving in quite a smaller portion compared to the vegetables. And also, you would notice, Joffrey, Melkin would notice that there are waters that seems to be glowing in nature as well that have been serving on down there. The vendors that were serving as well. And she and all the guards lifts you up, kind of escorts you all to the rooms. Is following to the Princess Hellenic, and she goes and sits down pretty casually, just lies down, and you can quite tell that she doesn't feel like a legal princess that you have met in the islands or other kingdom lives. Not quite a bit of that. And she gestures all of you to sit down, and each of the guards pull up the chairs for each of you to sit as well. Someone should mention the queen. Yes, maybe you should. And Selenik says that, I hope that all of you are enjoying the time in our town. Did the guards show you around?
No, you kind of just came straight here.
Yeah.
And she goes like this, and she looks at the guards and shakes her hand. And she turns turns her eyes back at you guys and says that, well, I'm very sorry. I guess they were ill prepared, and but some of them were getting mad that it was getting kind of later than the time. And she looks at one of the bees on the sides that seems to be pretty heavily armored on the sides, and the one who she is staring at, that stands beside her, returns no glare at her, and she just is strictly staring at you guys' directions in general. And she turns back, focused at you guys. And yep, Malkin, Joffrey, did you want to say anything?
Oh no, not at the moment. I'm looking up something for one of my skills real quick.
Okay. And and she looks at all of you guys' directions and says that, so, a party, I was asking for a good party planner and having a good time to bring all the peoples back in. So, are you guys, I knew that there were some experts in there. Are you guys experts that we heard about?
I think our party planner didn't show up today.
This is what happens when the whole party is not here.
Honestly, we weren't really told
Man.
what was going on. We were just kind of sent here and told to figure out what we could do for you.
Oh, a surprise party. Okay, maybe a surprise for you too. Okay. We
Yeah.
well, when we're moving into this place, and we were not quite natives to at least this area, so we were. At least I'm trying to make a new hive for my own, and I told you about the party that I want to host, and hopefully I want to be a queen of the area, and if I were to do so, it's best to not have too much friction with the friends around. And I think locals got some wrong ideas about us because we had some troubles when we were getting in, and we tried to talk to them, but I don't think they're too receptive to us. So I asked for a party planner to bring all the peoples together, and hopefully they will join the coronations, and we can all have a seconds party, and yeah, everything will work out for us.
So coronation. So that means you're next in succession.
Well,
The old queen die.
no, well, the mother is alive well in her hometown, but I was hoping that I would have my own kingdom here. Well, on the
How
long
far?
time.
How far away are we from your home kingdom?
A few
Yeah.
months away, I think. I mean, I should be able to visit her if I need to. Although it'll be quite a bit of work to go back and forth.
And then, what kind of friends do you have? What trouble did you get into? Like,
Well, right now there are these friends that I would like to make. Mainly, there's bad people living in here. Let me get the proper name. There are some Locanans living in the area, but we tried to talk to them, but they seems to be kind of salty in a way, and they haven't been talking to us ever since. And there are some folks living in the cave, but we haven't really got to contacts with them either. Every time we try to go in there, they kind of push us out, and I haven't heard any representative trying to accept invitation. They said they're too busy or something, but I hope that they would be willing to at least cooperate. I mean, I'm sure we can help out each other as long as we get a time to talk.
What do they look like?
Oh, maybe I can show you. And she puts both her hands out, and she seems to be putting some sort of wax out of her hands. And all she does, so you can see the kind of a bee wax sculpture kind of on it. And all she's doing so pretty carefully. You have a statue of Locanin. It's a wolf folk.
A wolf? Oh,
You can think of like they look like a werewolf, or in World of Warcraft there is what was
The
it?
Worgen.
Yeah, Worgans. It exactly looks like Worgans. Although
Okay.
these are wolf folks, not werewolves. So
Yeah.
so it's slightly different, but
Well, Dog people.
and Princess, these are the same people that lives in the caves as well, or just in the forest?
oh, and yes, and she.
Hmm.
There is a. It's a humanized bat in a way, and you can tell some of the references from the bat is pretty much pretty giant bats with more human features. Thanks to Disney. Oh, think of Disney. Yes. If you want to, you can add 2 sculptures, miniature of Locanin and miniature of Charon into your inventory if you like.
I'm not gonna add them. You're not taking them.
All right,
If
they're on the
anybody else
table.
wants to grab them.
A
Yeah, I'll
miniature
hold on to
who and what?
A miniature wolf folk of the
Oh, okay.
Lucanen and the miniature bat folk,
Okay.
the Chiron.
Cool.
Underneath Yu's breath, you hear him just kind of whisper to himself, "We should just kill them all."
We should just-
Sorry, I'm getting used to the altitude.
Do you say that in a way that can be heard in the room?
No!
It's very quiet.
I'm doing
It's
my
very
best
muffled.
Okay.
to cover.
I mean, I guess if any bee is like within like 3 feet or 5 feet of you, that bee may have heard.
What if they have a very good perception? I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, that voice is gonna be coming out no matter what.
Okay, anyhow, I'll just leave it flow. But it is fun if the role playing has the consequences that you don't intend to as well. Think of Donut. Woo! she is batting her head on the wall. But yes, anyhow, regardless of risk and reward, and after she showed you those. After she gave you those sculptures, and who added them into your inventories?
I'm going to later. My computer's going kind of slow right now, so I can't really get them on at the moment.
Okay, so you'll be adding both of them into your inventory?
Yeah, I'll add both of them.
Alright. That going on, and you taking them, and says that, yes, so those folks, we try to talk to them for time to time, and we certainly had some conflicts with them, but well, at least we tried to send them home without having any troubles.
Is there any fighting with them, or just misunderstandings?
I'm sure that there is just a misunderstanding that we can easily fix and solve. Hopefully, if you could tease some honeys, and we should be able to figure it out. And as she's saying that, the guy who was standing left to her kind of shakes his head silently.
Does he stand out from the rest? Maybe we can talk to him later.
He is much more well armed, and you can tell that some of the weapons and armors that he's wearing are magical in nature as well, just from the looks. And yeah.
Well, Princess, if you want a party, we can do a party. But if you give us some more information, that'd be grateful. Like, what are your like customs and traditions? So maybe since we're gonna act as envoys for you, you know, do you have gifts of your people that we can bring to the people we're gonna talk to? And then do you have any like habits that you really frown upon? Like, I don't know. There's like walking in a circle of bad juju here. Like,
okay. We have so many gifts that we can give. We have tons of well, any sculpture that you like. Usually beeswax is a pretty good materials, and honeys that we have a specialized production of many of them. And lately we've been working on building more of those around, and hopefully from the flowers we can process more of them even more. And we found a really neat fountain nearby, and with that we can make some really neat stuff. And try that water. That water is really nice.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the water. It seems to glow more than normal water does.
Why don't you try it? And she blinks like 3 times in like a mirror of a second. She is suggesting to drink.
Yeah, I'll take a sip of it. I'll be the test dummy.
All right. Do you have any hit points lost?
Do I? Yeah, I'm down 1 hit point. It looks like.
All right. Let me search up the amount. It does same amount of healing. It was greater healing potion.
Oh, okay.
Is 44 plus 2.
Okay, so this is pretty valuable stuff.
Yeah, it is amazing that we have a fountain nearby that is just pumping that out, and hopefully we should be able to invite everyone and maybe have some products with it. hopefully, well, if the party goes well, then we should have a friendly borders, and we can talk to each other more. And I never wanted to run the country as my mother does, and I really didn't want to go back to that shut down the border and kick out all the natives, that type of thing. I think they have the wrong idea maybe from my mother, but I try to tell them that I'm very different. But yeah, as long as
What if they don't want to be your friends?
well, I'm sure that why wouldn't they be?
But what if?
Until they do, then we'll try our best. So we have no problem with that.
Well, I'm sure taking a stance like that will definitely help. I mean, as long as you're not going to be aggressive to them, then eventually they'll come around.
What if they're aggressive to you?
And all as you are saying that, you can hear the sigh coming up on the guy behind this time. Oh. And she's like,
oh,
well, they have been aggressive time to time already. I mean, we have fended them off, and well, we're still fine.
Now, do they know that you're separate from the original hive that you came from, or do they think that you all are connected?
We didn't get a good chance to talk. Last time we kept them as a prisoner, so it was pretty short time that we could talk, but I don't think they do.
Okay. That might be where the problem is.
Well, I let them go, and at the same time I tried to invite them to the coronation, but they seem to be pretty mad. I don't know why.
Was that fountain unused before you found it?
Other than this town that was just left alone, no one was living here.
Did you show up the same time as your people, or did your people show up first and then you showed up?
Well, I led the exploration, and we decided to settle here. Well, we heard of a place that had the similar weather. There was a previous party that we requested to. They said that this location is perfect and resembles my homeland, so I thought this is a perfect place to settle down.
Did anyone get vacated in the process?
Vacated from the location? No one's living here. As far as I know, unless the previous people told me nothing about it.
Okay.
Any questions you guys ask, like, about the anything more about them, more about the party, more about locations in specifics? And if not, she's gonna be talking in very fast pace. When is party? What is it? What do you mean? Oh, the party for the.
Yeah, you probably want to ask that question. So anything that I'm thinking of that you wouldn't say, I'm putting as a player in the chat.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Like, what is our time frame?
Yeah. Well, how long do we have to get these people to come around?
Give me a second. Well, I was hoping maybe as soon as possible, but well, if you get the invitation in 5 days, that'd be great. Well, if the thing doesn't work out, maybe I have to do it alone. But generally, if the things are done in 4 days, and maybe 5th day, how about that? Maybe that's the date.
How far away travel on foot, because we can't fly, would it be to both locations?
Yeah, if you were to, each of them should take about 4 hours, I think. If you were just walk in the baby speed.
I kind of like point at the bum leg.
A second though.
Like,
she says 2 hours actually, because these guys move much faster than you guys. So she says 2 hours. And yeah, sorry. Sunny, yeah.
Like, I point at my bum leg and like, are you sure 2 hours?
She says, yeah, maybe 4 hours. How fast do you walk, really?
Look at me. Like I rub my shell. I don't go anywhere quick.
I mean, if it's downhill, we can put him in a shell and just roll him. But
Well, it's got to be uphill the other way, right? Like,
true.
Yeah,
Also, if he's going downhill, we might end up damaging something.
right?
Indiana
Like a lethal
Jones.
weapon.
coming back and forth, it should be 8 hours. But yeah, 4 hours to just get there mechanically. Unless you're going for the difficult terrain, which is, I'll be specific. For example, swamp is difficult terrain. And the cliffside, you have to be climbing stuff, so it'll be difficult terrain. Yeah.
Can we get a map?
You guys already do have a map, but if you were to ask the princess, she was like, map? What is map?
Like the easiest route to get from here to there without getting eaten.
Oh, you just fly over the trees, and that's usually the safest way. The air is pretty secure around here. It's actually very surprising. Even the babies are not attacked if you're just flying on the air.
Well,
Are there any
waterways?
waterways? Are there any rivers that connect to them? So I've got a rowboat that we can use.
Oh, are there any rivers? And she turns around to the guy to the left and says that, no, princess, there are underground current, but no flowing waters.
I don't know if underground wouldn't help us. Okay. You guys just want to carry us there? I mean, you can fly, we can't. I mean, I know you'll need like 10 of us to carry the turtle, but
Yeah, well, I got rope.
there you go.
She looks at you very brightly and says, "Yeah, maybe a few of the people can go with, a few of my friends, and maybe the guards can go with." And she's saying that the guy standing on the left says, "No." Oh, okay, that's. I guess that's no.
Well, didn't hurt to ask, I guess.
And the guy beside says that, and they haven't been exactly friendly towards us. If you were to do a friendly mission, best to go along.
Well, we could have you drop us off a mile or two away.
He says that Lord God's duty are to protect the loyals. If you get other people in the town to go with you, sure, but no.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think it'd be cool to get at least like one to come with us, like, and their own emissary of some sort.
That's true.
I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I actually wouldn't mind having someone come with us.
The princess goes like, "Oh, maybe I can." And it's like, "No."
no. Maybe this gentleman would like to come with us. The one that's making all the
He
decisions.
looks at you and says that my duty is with the princess. No. It sounds like he's a party pooper.
Yeah, but then if the princess comes with us, then you have to come. And then all the good. Well, no, never mind then, because all the guards would have to come too, and they think.
And then we start bringing in army places.
Never mind.
We're here to be
scratch that idea.
friends.
And for the conversations, if it is reasonable for the character listening it, semi-reasonable, then I would let you roll perceptions or that type of rolls. But if it is very against what the policy of the creatures has, generally there is no roll. Or if you want to negotiate with the policy, that is a thing too, but you would have to put something in the bargaining table to start the negotiation instead of asking or rolling for persuasion. But yes, at the moment, he says, we'll not risk our safety just for you to get out there. And you will be paid, and it was consulted. It is your job. Do your duty.
Don't worry, man. We'll take care of it. It's all good.
And I think he's talking faster than he should be, because Princess is talking fast. But yeah, that is
Princess, I'll forgo my award if you can tell me anything, if you or any of your people know anything about this symbol. And he shows him the symbol on his armor.
She looks at it and then says that, let me do some roll for her. She looked at the symbol and says like, that looks pretty. But that could be going great with your clothing. Yeah, I think it fits you.
Okay, I'll take the reward.
Fine, I'll just get paid a lot. Jeez.
Well, what time of day is it? When we had like 8 hours of travel.
You guys were embarked from the town on the morning and spent 8 hours on the journey. And you guys also took rest, I believe, 1 hour, right? So 9 hour total.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'll say that you guys started at 9, so 18 hour, meaning about nighttime, I guess. But even at the nighttime, you won't feel the difference because it's shining freaking bright outside. You can't feel the 6 o'clock mentality here.
Okay,
It's an eternal daytime here.
got it. Yeah, if there's any water on the table, he's gonna attempt to top off his water skin, not knowing of its magical effects. He's just topping off his skin in preparation for travel.
Okay, you can fill your water skin with the this water on the table. Yeah.
Okay. Princess, is there any lodging available for us, and we can get going on the daybreak, or guys, you just want to get going now?
I think we should probably like maybe mingle here the night, ask for lodging, and then like maybe talk to the locals.
Yeah, we have a lot of rooms nearby. Please stay with us. I mean, surely you'd like to stay with us, right?
Absolutely.
Great. Guys, yeah, get them a room and closer to mine if possible. And many of the bees seems to be going around and having some arrangements, and you will be given a lodging here for free. And all the foods and the general food situation will be handled. I'll say that the rations you would have to prepare on your own on the way and back here. But actually, the rations even can be eaten here. So.
Well, also, he is pretty good at finding food when he travels. From his background.
I'll say that unless you're spending time in wilderness, I'll say that if you long rest on the road, spend the ration. But other than that, I say that you don't need to expend any more rations. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, and yes, so you could be taking.
I can always create food. So.
Yep. And all of you. Water on the table. Yes, you can top up the water skin, and there's plenty of them actually on this table. And you would be still offered a meal and a room. And the princess says that, well, I have some work to do after that, but I hope the party is going on great. Let me know how this goes, and I'll be here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep you filled in.
Yeah. But before that, maybe we can finish these foods. And while doing that, she'd be asking questions about your town, where you came from, and although not many questions actually go to Sunny, because she doesn't seem to be exactly curious about where Sunny's from.
He's a turtle. He's from around here.
Yeah, and even the youth story about the short time that he remembers in the town. Oh my God, what was the name of that greedy place? Even that it would interest her. And Melkin, I'm sure that has some stories to tell to the princess and whatnot. If there's anything interesting you want to tell, you can tell to her now. But if not, then I'll probably skip to the rest.
Well, I'm hoping you guys can like tell her stories, and then I try to like sneak off to the side and get talking to the. The Grumpus.
Oh.
He's been disgruntled about this whole thing. He probably is has more information that she's not putting off, or just too naive to understand what really went down here, or what's happening, or the relationship.
Yeah, would anyone like to be distracting Princess? I mean, she's distracted. You could actually just talk to her straight up.
I mean, Melkin's basically an open book for her. He's naive enough himself that he'll just blurt out his life story if she's asking for it.
Yeah, she is asking every bit of detail, and she's very engaged in your story while listening to it. and I'll say that she's fully occupied, and she won't be aware of the conversations that you'll be doing with the grumpy guy. And
Yeah, this one time when I was 6, I was running down this hill and I fell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Start for the kids.
Yeah, and if you were to approach the grumpy guy,
It's like I'd be like,
yeah, he looks at you and he doesn't say anything. Like, you get close to him, his attention mostly be focused around looking at the princess's area in general. And as you are getting close to him, you kinda indirectly get close to the princess as well. And as you do so, he actually comes closer to you to prevent you from going further. And
Cool.
yeah, he stands in front of you and says that.
Well, I don't square up to him. You know, I kind of like come at him at an angle, so that we're both like viewing like the same general direction towards the princess. You know, just trying to be more casual and not trying to be like, you know, when you square up on someone's a bit more aggressive. You know, just kind of like shimmy my way over, and then earlier you scuffed when we said something. Half the words are cutting out, but he scuffed, and I was curious, like, why there was a scuff. You know, someone so disciplined wouldn't be like, ah.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. I don't know why I'm doing this. Dice rolls aren't good. Oh, it's not trained. Nope.
Oh!
Oh my god.
You guys are cursed! What is going on? I don't remember Sonny rolling a single time well this session and last session. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Oh. Why does Elric have to be dead? You can be making him re-roll all this.
So I insult him in his heritage. Got it. Like,
Hey, so bees kind of suck.
yeah. This honey crap. Ugh.
He seems to... In an angry tone, he says that I shall not be judged by an outsider. It doesn't seem like you got off to very good starts at the moment. With the persuasion.
Like you go to shake someone's hand, and like you trip and like you grab their dick, kind of thing. Like,
That's
oh,
awkward.
beef farts, my bad. Or you know, you go for like the bro hug and like you kiss them, like, oh, that's not what we're doing. Oh man, all right.
You know what? If Melkin notices this,
Yes.
I'm gonna pull out my alchemy jug and be like, "Hey man, don't be so grumpy." And
I don't know.
I'm gonna pour him some wine from my alchemy jug. That'll be my use for the day.
Okay.
I'll be like, "Try this, man. It'll make you feel great."
He grabs it and smells it
It's made from grapes.
and tastes it, and you can tell that his face goes to, like, you know, the time where you have a citrine and you bite off the orange,
Oh yeah.
yeah, a lemon, and
A
his
little
face,
too strong.
even though it's just a wine, it is not bitter for you, but it seems like you get the same reaction when you bit off the lemon. It's like, what is that? Oh, not for me, friend, not for me.
Oh,
And he's
sorry,
like,
man. This is what we drink to relax.
Well, Princess expects a lot from all of you. I've said that you get to work instead of spending time here.
First thing in the morning, we're gonna be on our way to help y'all out.
And Princess is like, yeah, that will happen now, but what happened after? And then, and don't worry about him. He's always grumpy lately. And with that, he became even more grumpy on the side. The grumpy intensifies. But as he does so, what is you doing?
I put in roll 20 to quicken things a little bit.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the edge where we entered, overlooking the city.
On the city, if you were to look down on the very
Search
view,
the butt.
the view here is quite perfect, and you can tell that there is a big radius. You can tell the border of where the strong sunlight starts, and that's where many of the forest. How do you say? There is an area that is covered by the sun, and halfway in there is a wall that has been set up with a big giant wall that is like kind of curved inward, and with the buildings inside. And surroundings, you can tell that there is quite a bit of beehives from the orange color that you see in the forested area, where there is a border between the sunlight ends and the wall. There are some of the many bees seems to be living in the area. And for the heights, the trees on this area seems to go a little bit higher compared to the one that goes in the swamp. The trees surrounding the wall goes about 50 feet high, and the wall that are surrounding the areas is about 60 feet. And this tower that you're currently standing is around 90 feet tall. And that's yeah. And the buildings inside, however, are generally 1 feet, 1 story or 2 story tall. Not that high of a notice, but there are some things that is bumped up with beehives or two on top of the building. So there's that going on. General scenery that you observe.
Yeah. So until someone calls you, that's where you would be sitting.
Yeah. You can still ask stuffs. I guess Grumpy made his role. He doesn't seem to be very friendly towards Sunny anymore. But Melkin and you guys can try stuff in terms of dialogues. Is there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's actually something I want to try. I'm gonna
All
give
right.
him more of the wine. I'm gonna cast prestidigitation on it so I can flavor it to be sickeningly sweet, like that stuff that Thalia gave us. Like, here, I'm just gonna be like, try this. I changed up the flavor a bit.
I'm just gonna be in the corner, like swatting imaginary flies.
Yeah,
What is that?
I was thinking about how dick he would be, but I don't think it's too fun to do that. So I'll not do that, and because technically casting magic wouldn't be that great in front of the princess.
Oh, really?
But I'll say that it's a cantrip. It's not that big of a component. I'll say that probably people can tell the component differences between cantrip and the major spell. So I'll say it's fine. And yeah, he looks at you but without knowing that has been sweetened, he looks at you and says that I said I don't like it.
No. Trust me on this. I changed the flavor.
Roll a
It's a little trick I can
persuasion
do.
with disadvantage.
Okay. Disadvantage? Damn.
Because there's a wine
yeah, 'cause
you have
he-
already tried.
yeah.
He has fixated in mind that is a lemon. Basically, it's okay.
Oh, look at you.
Okay. Oh my god, it's not fun when people are rolling so bad.
I was gonna say that 23 is like all of my rolls put together.
No, but with disadvantage is 10, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 is not quite good enough.
Damn.
At the moment, and he says that what I say that your time spent here should be focused on Princess, not me. Sorry. And
Oh, okay.
it's
And
like-
I'll hand it to the princess instead.
And Princess grabs it and is like, "Oh my god, is this a new thing in your land? What is it like?"
It's really, really sweet. It's something that one of the dwarven ladies back at our home made. Look, it says I flavored it to be like that.
Okay.
Does she know what a dwarf is?
She probably have no idea, but that actually sparked more questions. We should be engaged with her, and she will take a drink and says, like, "Oh my god, that is the sweetest thing ever!"
See, right?
And he goes like, doesn't seem to be exactly happy.
See, man, you're missing out. Princess loves it.
Yeah, try it out. And she's like shoving on his face as he's doing it. I was like, he does taste it eventually because Princess kind of forcing him to, and he does it like one sip and he gives it to Princess to stop it, and she's like, he likes it, but yeah, this is great stuff. How did you make it?
Oh, I've
What can
got
he do?
this magic jug here. I can make one thing a day with it. It can make honey too, but I already used it to make the wine, so I can't make honey.
Well, that is great. And then should be asking about questions about how you acquired it and whatnot, but it'll get too long and goes
Oh,
infinitely. So, with that, I'll say that you probably can do one more thing if you want to interact with the guy, or ask, or if you want to ask any question. The princess. Yep.
You will get up and walk over to Sir Stick Up Butt.
Yeah.
That's what I've deemed him.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I saw your reaction when we were talking to the princess. Could you tell us more about these wolf people? Have you met them and dealt with them? It sounds like.
Roll persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, he's with 10, he continues to be the Sir Butt Stick Up. Okay, this is not too fun because this guy is like, you guys are failing every check on it.
I mean, it fits that guy's personality. It's
he says that my opinion does not matter. Do what the princess desires.
okay. Alright.
And continues to be the not talkative guy. I would be frustrated if I was a player, so I understand how you guys feel. So
I'm not frustrated.
I would be super frustrated. It's like, oh my god, damn it, shutting us all down. It's like, no, I'm not.
I just think it's funny that all three of us are sitting here basically hitting our heads against a brick wall trying to get through to this guy.
Does he have like a second in command? Could I see if I perceive anyone who's like second in command, like his underling, perhaps?
Can we talk to somebody else?
There are underlings surrounding that wears a similar clothing to him. Mostly is those guys, a bunch of guys that carried you up here. Those are the guys who brought you here. And the guy who brought you here will be standing behind you as well. So 2 of them.
Okay.
If you want them, this is the time to give them a name. Woo! Actually, they're just guards. They don't have names. Yeah. Guard
Would you be okay if I did one more persuasion check to kind of sum up you kind of maybe going to a few of them, kind of asking the same thing, like, hey, have you messed with these folk the princess wants to invite, and what are your impressions type thing? That, like, generic question.
You're not doing it to the same characters, so I'd be okay with that. Yeah, roll persuasion check again on the general guards this time.
The guards.
Yep. DC would be 10 this time.
There we go.
Yep. They tell you the troubles that they had at the beginning. Apparently, when they moved in, they were attacked first on site. And after that, they didn't have much interactions as it was the military with the guards.
I'll pursue when they said they were attacked as soon as they moved in. Does that mean that they were attacked in this town when they moved in, or just attacked from the neighboring area?
Neighboring area in the town continuously. Until that is, would probably connect to what the princess says, they capture their leader and let them go.
Wait, I must have missed that portion.
Princess has, will... If you ask any question to Princess, she will give you an answer without requiring any checks most of the time. So you can clarify stuff with the Princess if you'd like.
It's like she's in a permanent zone of truth.
Yes, kind of in a way, because she wants to talk with you guys. Other guys, not too much. But yeah.
Okay. So what was that about? They captured the leader? I must have missed that. Did I mishear something?
She mentioned that after the battle, the princess had mentioned that after the battle, they have captured them, and the princess has let them go, although they had been salty afterwards and didn't talk.
Yeah, you broke up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Near the end, you broke up, unfortunately.
so, princess capture, let them go, they salty now.
Okay.
Yep, 3 steps.
Alright, cool.
Alright. Anything more you'd like to ask around? And you two, Sunny and Melkin, could ask around as well while one of you guys are talking to Princess.
Melkin's just too distracted telling stories to the princess.
Alright.
And this time when I was 12,
He loves that there's someone who will listen to his stupid shit.
Alright. If nothing else, I'll say that you guys can take a long rest and probably start in the morning. Or if you guys want to do any night activities in the tower, that is something that you can do as well. Although the stairs are kind of blocked off by the wax, so that you probably have to stay here. And if you want to go to the town, one of the guards will accompany you and bring you guys all down to the lower tower, lower area.
When I was walking through the town on my perception, did I see any stores that, like anything that resembled a store?
As I mentioned, there are some stands that have been made out of woods and vines. And you saw, actually you didn't see because you weren't paying attention to that, but the Melkin have seen that the people have been taking stuffs from the stands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you doesn't know that water skin has any magic properties, really, so...
I'd say that if you have drank any of the waters on the table, as I mentioned there are plenty, you would know the magical properties of those.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. It'd be safe to assume that you are aware of it.
I retract that then. Oh, I forgot I can freaking play a flute. I should have added that to my role playing. Oh well.
And yes, so anything in the nighttime, and if not, then we'll move on to the morning. Nighttime, I'm shopping. Anything that you guys want to do in town. And talking with the people on the town, that's something you can do too. Although, I'll try to make it a little bit more tight in time, so there won't be much of the side thingy going on in the town at least. If nothing, then I'll say that...
Yeah. Nothing for me.
Is my voice cutting out, or...
for me, it's everyone.
Okay. For me,
Maybe it's on my side.
No one's voice is cutting out on my end, so I think it's local on
Like,
your internet.
Is your headphone all the way in?
Yeah. No, it's like the video, everything's like lags.
You can try cutting the video, seeing if that helps the audio.
Yep.
We have a player in another campaign that does that from time to time.
Yeah, although it seems like it's more severe case than that. It seems.
Oh crap! I was gonna. He's gonna be asked to be pointed, like which direction to go, because we don't actually have a direction.
They will tell you. You guys have the map. I gave you the sheet called Mission Brief Map in the Roll20. If you're to take a look, there is a general summary of what I have mentioned previously. The general directions to each of them, having the center, which is the Endless Nectar that you guys are currently at, as the center town.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
so take a look at that, and from that you should be able to go to any directions that you want. And yeah. Or stay in the town and fail the mission for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
If I had to venture a guess, I'd say the wolf people are probably in the hunting ground area.
does that look like it's like a 4-hour travel away?
If you were to ask around, then they say that hunting ground is actually a forest area where many of the animals live, and there are quite a bit of the Locanin folks visiting there for hunting purposes, but their house is at Black Den.
Black Den. Okay, gotcha.
And Cliffside is Bat People, probably.
Down below is the Bat People. They would point you to the
Right,
direction.
down below equal Bat.
Yeah.
Black
Black Den equals dogs.
I'm doing very simplistic notes here.
Should be able to tell basic information. It's
Alright.
no problem. So.
Well, we want to talk to the bats or the wolves first.
Or go to random locations and see what conspires there. Remember that you guys found the feather thing?
The what thing?
Feather. There was a feather in the monster trail, although you guys didn't quite know what that
Yeah,
was.
that was back in the swamp before we found the alligators.
Yeah. Totally forgot about that.
I don't know if we want to go back into the swamp.
At the moment, Grumpy Turtle, I don't hear anything from you. So can you say something so that we know that you're?
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
If I don't have a video, I don't know one person is.
Yeah.
is lagging or something.
Every 5 minutes, just
There's
type in
a-
Discord, like a count, just a count up.
Yeah, it's like one, 2, 2.
Oh no.
But yeah. Anyhow, I'll say that if nothing happens in the night, you guys all wake up in the morning and will be escorted to the ground level.
Oh my god.
It'll be quite a bit of work for them to escort you all to the ground level, and however, you guys will make it without any accidents. And if you were to go down to the ground and visit the town, there are people waking up and doing their work. Many of them seem to be going to the flower, and a giant flower that is, and seems to be scooping up some of the honeys from there and taking it to the back. And some of them busily walking around, flying towards some directions with the arrows and the bows equipped, and some of them with a machete. Stuff like that happen. Pretty busy morning. What do you guys like to do? And all of you are long rested, so restore all the hit dice spent, and half of the hit dice spent round up, and spell slots you gain them back. Rations will be provided, as I mentioned, by the thing, although it'll be kind of too sweet for you guys in a way.
That's alright, I can use prestidigitation to flavor things. That apple tastes like bacon now.
Depends on how the thing works. It doesn't remove the original flavor. I believe adds flavor.
True.
Yeah. So if you want to add,
it just says you can flavor non-living objects.
Yeah. If you want to add a very strong sweet to it, it will be done. But if you want to, if you have a poop and if you want to make a sweet poop, it still will taste like a poop, but sweet. So, yeah. But yes, anyhow, directions. What you guys do like to go? And is there anything else you like to do in town before you leave?
And I don't know what y'all want to do in town.
But I can't think of anything, and I don't know how to trade for it because they don't seem to trade. So,
You can
and
go.
also, as I said, I can't think of anything I need personally.
I think
I have
we
a
could
war
just
skin,
take
a
stuff.
health potion or so worth, and rope and weapons.
You could try walking towards it and just take it.
Oh crap! We never got rations from the table. Unless
I'll
somebody
say
else
that
did.
I'll say that all of you are fed with the rations. Although taking it would be too much because it's not prepared food. It's not good for long-term storage.
Yeah, I think in my explorer's kit that I got for my character, I have a few rations, but I don't think I added them to my character sheet because technically I probably would have used them by now.
It'll only be necessary if you're resting on the way or on the end destination if there is no lodging there.
Alright.
Oh no, internet. But yes, since no one has a strong opinion to where to go first, I'll just ask people by people. Let's start with Sunny. Where would Sunny like to go?
I like to get these noises out of my head and not roll a 1 every 5 times. We can flip a coin.
Why don't you flip
I'm
a
cool.
coin?
Let's do it.
I'll roll a d4. If it's even, we go to the bats. If it's odd, we go to the wolf.
Yeah, I have no preference.
I was gonna throw out there, aren't bats nocturnal? Maybe we should do the wolves while it's daytime and then go to the bats afterwards.
Well, that sounds like logic.
I mean, it's not
Sounds
something
like
I don't normally logic things, but
Yeah.
you know, this one time I figured, what the hell.
We need the handicap.
All right. Yeah, two people at least like to go to the wolf. Nemo, if there's no strong
I'm good.
opinion. Okay. All of you guys, there's a head to the then another two-sided choices. Would you guys like to head to the hunt ground or black den? Lapidan folks will be in both sides. Depends on where you go. And just a word though, it may be best if you do preparations or at least some information gathering before you go. If you don't, it's fine too.
I mean, I thought we pretty much asked, in kind of non-role-playing way, I thought we asked kind of about those areas. And they just said they used the,
You know where to find it.
the thing for hunting and the other one for lodging.
Okay.
That's like as much detail as we got, right? Let's see. Yeah, hunt grounds for hunting, black dens for lodging.
Hey, yeah. So hunt ground or black den?
I say we go to their home. If we go to where they're hunting, they might accidentally attack us. You know, they might like to eat
No, you
turtles.
wouldn't do that. If somebody wants to ask a bee, if that, ask a bee if that course of action is fine.
I'll do it.
With them in the past.
Okay. If you want
I'm too stupid to know I'm stupid.
would you ask a random bee or the princess? Or guards? Or the grumpy guy?
I'll ask. I haven't talked to the general. If he's around, I'll ask the general.
General will be in the town, circling around the area. He seems to be majorly looking over for the protection of the near the walls, and you should be able to easily find him as he's generally around. And if you were to go to him and he looks at you and says that, "What do you need?"
We're heading out of town on the princess's request to do this party thing.
Coronation.
We're heading
not
towards.
party.
We're heading towards the area where the wolves people stay, but we hear there's two separate areas: a place where they hunt and a place where they stay. Do you have any recommendations on which one to go to?
My scouts have been attacked in both of the areas, although attacks will be much more severe if you go to their homeland. In my experience, I'd say that you should capture them alive in the hunt ground. Whether that is a smart choice or not, I'll leave it up to you.
Maybe we can try go in between the two and intercept them. You know, maybe on the way back from their hunt, so they're less aggressive and more happy.
He says that Black Den is just a parameter. Black Den isn't really a map word. He wouldn't use that word, but he says that their den is just a parameter. You should see totems around the forest that marks their territory. In there, you'll definitely be watched if you tread along.
What do the marks look like?
Usually totems of a skull of the bear, skull of the nearby animals, broken trees.
Okay. Thank you for the talk. Sorry to interrupt your
Princess's
inspection.
will is my will. Good luck on your journey.
We don't need luck.
We got me.
Yeah, luck. Sunny the lucky. Yeah. Yes. So basically, in the summary, he says that they would act a little bit more violent if you approach their home, at least in the defense-wise. But you will be attacked either way. So pretty much, according to this guy's experience,
that you will suggest to the group that we actually go to the hunting ground.
Yeah, against my better judgment. At the very least, there'd be smaller numbers on the hunting ground.
Yeah. And give me like 30 seconds, I'll be right back, but continue.
Alright. If you were to go to the hunting ground, you would set up the journey towards the hunting ground, which is the northeast of the town. And if you were to leave the nearby perimeter where the forest had been set up, then nearby as you're crossing the border, immediately sun goes kind of darker in color and shrinks back to the regular brightness, so could you say. And you must journey along into the forest towards the directions. And on the way, let's see if something happens.
Of course. Why wouldn't it?
Like Alex is behind us, or Parthrax is behind us in some way, shape, or form. Or we left a note for Parthrax to follow us in. I don't know.
Yeah. Entertain the princess. Do the perfume thing.
Oh, we must do something about your hair.
True. You guys didn't give her perfume, I guess. That is,
Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say what you did.
That's what Parthax probably would have done.
Yeah, if you did, then I would have given you loyalty, +1 loyalty.
Then yes. Yes, you did.
I'll leave it to the next time, maybe. But yes, maybe next time you can do it in character. But you guys head to the place, and you see that there are quite a bit of local animals that seems to be living and inhabiting this place. And many of them are animals, not beasts, making it pretty good as a hunting ground for those of you who like to hunt for leisure. Although none of you actually are leisurely hunter. So yes, rabbits, deers, and many of the local birds seems to be living in here. And if you were to head along, you would be heading without any hesitation for several hours. And after 4th hour, you'd be in the this territory, in the center of the territory. Yep. You?
Are we moving stealthily, guys? Or are we just kind of walking?
If you were to move stealthily, it will take 8 hours to get to the center. However, if the wolves were tailing you or try to ambush you, they would have a harder time tracking you or noticing you.
Yeah, you would suggest still going stealthily.
Oh my god, 20 feet! It is true.
That's half use speed.
It's 30 feet is 4 hours, so let me calculate the... Okay, 30 feet.
That's amazing.
Oh my god, your pace is 20, that's terrible.
Your boots so springing. My gosh.
I did something wrong. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5, and...
Well, tell you what, this is what we'll do. You will travel stealthily as
ahead.
Sunny is the bait. Because my half-speed stealth travel is his regular speed.
Okay, so you is stealth, and Melkin, is he stealth?
No, actually, he's just gonna be kind of out in the open, possibly as bait.
Melkin and Sunny will be out in the open, and you will be traveling, and it will take a longer time for you guys to get there. And I'll say that it will take around 10 hours to get there with the stealth.
From 2 to 10.
I'll say, because it's a 4 hours regularly, but I'll say the 5 hour with the turtle friend, and double for stealth. Unless you don't want to double the stealth, but yes, it'll be 10 hour. So you'll be getting there on 18th hour, so 6 o'clock in the night you will get... No, that doesn't sound good. No, that's 6 o'clock at night, you will get to the hunting ground. Is that your plan?
Yeah.
So my plan, ideally, well, at least what I thought was, when we entered the hunting ground, we were gonna stealth.
All right. That
Like-
is reasonable, yeah. All right, I'll
No
say that
sense
you
in
spend
stealthing
5 hours
when
to
it's
get
not
there.
their territory.
Yeah, at 1 o'clock at lunchtime, where the sun is very high, you guys will get to the hunting ground, and you guys enter the stealth. And if you were to go there, you feel like what is your passive perceptions at the moment?
I think
mine
mine's
was
just
10.
10.
Yeah.
12. Woohoo!
All right.
13.
You guys are quite sure at the moment, with passive perception 13 as the highest, that there are no creatures that are currently tailing you at the moment.
Well, now you make me want to look around. But I'm not. Actually,
Alright.
I probably should.
Yep. There are some signs of hunts here and there. There are some arrows stuck onto the wall, not the walls, by trees, and as well as some of the traps set on the ground. Although some of them have been triggered, and you notice that like bunnies kind of like lying down dead, bleeding, caught on the traps, stuff like that. There are signs of hunters in this area, although you do not see any hunters around. How do you guys like to proceed from here?
What was caught in the trap?
Bunny.
Honey?
Bunny was
Oh,
caught.
bunny. A rabbit.
Bunny-
Okay.
Rabbit was caught in a bear trap
Okay.
and is brutally murdered.
I'm just gonna assume that my character is also missing like half his face and ear and has no hearing. That'll make up for the internet. Huh? What, guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Who's really good at looking around and seeing things that are supposed to be hidden, like traps?
Joffrey, are you okay as a player?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm good.
You seem to be awfully tired at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of a long day. I just a little drowsy here, but no, I'm good.
Okay.
But no, as far as trap perception or anything like that, I don't really have anything.
Okay.
Although, wait, are we at the hunting grounds at this point?
You're at the
Just
hunting ground. You entered hunting ground. There are some
Okay.
areas to explore and whatnot, but you guys entered.
With a dramatic flourish, I'm going to tear one of the patches off of my robe of useful items and throw it down and summon a pair of mastiffs.
All right, hunt dogs, right?
Yep.
All right, and as the dogs come in, it'd be funny if they are not trained, so I'll say that they are trained and will be following your.
They just hike their legs on the tree. And...
For that.
As soon as you unleash that, they're like, "I'm free!" and runs in the forest.
Yeah, pretty much. They've been trapped in this robe this whole time.
No, that'd be two trolls. I'll say that they'll follow your commands around. Should I say forever? I'll say that they're your pets from now.
Okay.
Yep. How many musteeps?
You summon 2 per patch.
All right.
So, let's see.
I'll
I've
say
actually got
that-
two patches with mastiffs on them.
I'll give you 2 character sheets for musteeps.
Okay.
You can feel free to fill that up.
Sweet.
If you want to put some dog funny photos, I don't know. So, do you have a? I forgot. Like, can you change it to an NPC sheet yourself?
Not sure.
I'll do it for you then. So
Oh,
yeah,
I can look up the
turn-
I can bring up the stats for them on my phone.
Yeah,
So that's not a problem.
I brought both of them to the NPC sheet, and you should be able to fill
Okay.
the details of the musteeps and whatnot. I'll say that for health, since it's funny, why don't you just roll instead of taking average and record them down.
Okay.
But yes, but masses are summoned, and they would await your command. And I'll say that they understand your verbal commands, and you can yell your commands at them as a free action.
Okay. So, for now,
Would you like to give them a name?
for now, I just want them to kind of be on guard and let us know if anything approaches it.
Roll perception checks for both of them, I guess.
Okay. Let me. Mastiff. Steer, mastiff. Perception. +1. It says they get advantage on anything that relies on hearing and smell. So do they get advantage for that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna turn my camera off and see if that makes my computer go any faster. Let's see. There we go. Okay, 1d20 +1.
That's 14 for the first dog.
Yep.
Natural 20 for the second dog.
Sweet.
Woo!
Good boy.
All right. While the other one is like kind of fixated on the rabbit that had been hunted, and he seems it has picked up some tracks from there and is like running around in that area. However, the other mastiff was kind of like putting nose on the high and goes like, and he's like smelling on the air, and it turns in one direction and kind of circles around you, whether it wants to follow. It wants you to follow.
All right, guys, you want to follow the dog?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, natural 20.
In this hunting ground, like, are the trees relatively close together?
Trees are not that thick, although I'll say that trees are abundant in this area. It is forested, pretty reasonably forested area. Not too tight, not too wide. Pretty good forest, bushes everywhere, and yeah.
Grandma will get up about like 15 feet up in a tree, and then kind of like attempt to jump from tree to tree, 15 feet in the air in the direction of the dog.
Not going stealth? I guess stealth wouldn't be, yeah, whatever.
Could I still roll stealth if I'm jumping from tree to tree?
I don't think the action of jumping between 23 is naturally stealthful, but I'll say yes, why not? Flavor-wise, I mean, that's flavorful, so.
I'm the wind.
I mean,
No,
Naruto does it, like, ninjas jump between tree to tree, and they claim they're ninjas, so it's like, ooh, that makes no sound, and you sure this is silent is the most silent way to move? Alright, sure. Jumping between tree to tree. Alright, tree, yes, you are jumping between trees, in between trees like ninjas, although, branches shaken and animals running, it is generating noises as you're running. And as you're going around with the mastiffs, you guys hear from the distance that there is some sort of a chase going on. And from there, you see the arrows flying, and you hear this, the typical sounds of air being pierced with the fast arrows when they're like going around. And you can tell that probably there is some hunting going on the distances. And if you were to go in the directions, there is some sort of area where the forest is kind of thin. It's in the boundary where there is a meadow. In a little bit of a hill area with the meadows in the nearby area, although it is not that big of a patch. You guys are currently in the forest and it is currently guarded, and the mastiffs are not actively generating sounds, and you have some distances before you get to the target. What do you guys like to do?
You would just try to see what he can see from his
Perception?
15-foot vantage point when the forest gets cleared.
Perception. And other two of you, what do you guys like to do?
Can I roll perception first, and then depending on what I roll, just go with that?
Oh, shit. It's actually a 15 because of my one-eyed blurry vision. I made a macro and I forgot to click it.
So that's actually what? 15?
That's a 15.
Okay. But
Minus
he
2
rolled
for
already! But, I mean, feel free to roll. I mean, you can still roleplay as this.
Yeah, well, it's just my intent has always been like the opposite of the dice roll. So I'd rather just play what I roll.
Yep. Yeah. Roll perception and let's go with the RP accordingly. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's odd. Okay, I need to work on my macro.
Yeah, I clicked it. Should I click it
Probably
again?
is lagging at the moment. Give it some time, man.
Yeah.
And Joffrey, what did you like to do?
I'm going to follow the Mastiff until it stops, and then I'm just going to crouch down and call the other one over so they're both standing in front of me. And just keep an eye out for whatever they brought us over to.
13 is useful, is it? Why is it so weird?
Because if I click on... Okay, that's Grumpy's.
Yeah, Grumpy, you got 17, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at me.
I made macro because of my -2, which it still looks odd.
Yeah. But yeah, with 17, you would see that. So 17
Actually,
and
I
15, right?
think I get a minus to my roll because I'm missing an eyeball.
Oh, both of you are one eye.
With the two one-eyed guys.
Here I am with a bunch of cripples.
Oh man, we're doing good.
With 15 on both of you, you guys would see the exactly same thing. Hop and hop is 1, right? With 0.5.
Yeah.
So you see the pictures around where the wolves, those people that you have seen as a form of statue, seems to have bows drawn on them, and they seem to be currently chasing after a bear from very long distances. And they are moving kind of perpendicular to your directions, and they are chasing bear away from the forest into the meadow area. And yes, currently with 15, you too perceives those situations, and Mastiffs are currently staying behind with you guys and not going into their nearby parameters. And you cannot quite tell how many of those Locanins are following the bear, but that's the general situation that you guys are currently in.
So it's like in our general direction or like
Perpendicular. So you're going this way and they're going this way.
Oh, okay.
And this is a meadow that you guys are heading forward.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys a map. I'll just draw it right now, right?
Do you think you can you think it'd be appropriate to like intercept the bear?
No, they'd get mad at us for taking their prey or something like that.
Would they? I don't know. Maybe like super helpful. It was like, oh, smash bear. I don't want to go near it. It's going to eat me. So.
There is a pretty.
I think I got it now. Yeah, okay. My perception check macro works now.
There is a section in the middle of the forest where there are no trees, which is surrounded. Give me a second.
So when we see them, I'm gonna whisper to the guys and say, so are we killing them or capturing them and forcing them to the party?
No, it's not talk to them.
Yeah. Can we go with option C?
That's pretty much what you guys will see, and
I mean, we can go with knocking them out and taking them to the party as a backup plan.
Yeah.
there is a bear.
Walk calmly and carry a big
That's a
stick.
huge bear.
Use the
Bear
big
is,
stick.
Large size, although not as big as that. I'm gonna reuse the token size. Give me a second.
Big old butter.
Boop.
Yay, that's a tiny
That.
bear.
And I'm regretting saying the map size to this right now. Okay, I'm gonna move the map a little bit. give you guys a little bit more room. Do stuffs. There's that. And bears. Oh my god, the map is so... Okay, the wolves are currently on the left side, outside of the map. Okay, I'm gonna expand it. I feel like this is very unnecessary thing that I'm doing here. Alright, map has been expanded. This is a good usage of everyone's time, right?
I'm sure we could have figured it out. That was...
And where are we in retrospect?
I'll put you guys in. You guys are somewhere like here, I'll say. Here, I'll say. You guys see me ping? It's a really large map, so I don't blame if you don't see it. Okay, there we go.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. And you don't know how many there are, but there are pack of Locanins currently chasing them away from quite a bit of distance. I'll say you see at least 2, why not? There are some more, however.
How badly does this bear appear to be injured?
Has few arrows stuck to it and currently running.
Well, can you use your your wizard stuff and like trip the bear so it's like not noticeable that we helped, but
If anything, I don't. You may not know wolves, but if you show strength, that's a good sign. So us actually killing the bear may show strength. Either that or it'll insult them. That we stole their kill.
yeah, either end of the spectrum. It's gonna be really good. Or
Yeah.
really bad.
So I think that's the best thing we have right now.
I mean, I have the subtle spell meta magic, so I could go out there and cast a spell without actually looking like I'm casting a spell and just be like, oh my god, did you guys see that fire erupt from under the bear? We would have thought that would happen.
You could.
I'm cool with either plan.
Decide quickly. Indecision is the enemy of the campaign. Just do it.
I'm gonna jump out and be like, hey, you guys need some help?
Okay, that's canon.
Oh!
Good job. Place your tokens on the map and roll initiative.
Okay.
Jump out. Oh, booga, booga, booga.
Yeah, exactly.
And place your
Hey
masters
guys,
on the
what's
map
up?
as
Oh
well.
my god.
Let's have some fun, guys. Oh shit! I didn't click my token.
Oh yeah, neither did I. Can we like
Oh,
fill it in manually?
I managed to roll less. It's awesome.
Oh.
I think like hidden GM macro that actually turns all of our D20 into D10.
You know what? No, because like I'm in 2 other
you
groups.
never know.
The last
I mean,
month has been.
Historically, every group I've been with has played with Tony. He rolls pretty bad.
He's got it adjusted.
2 mastiffs and Melkin's initiative needs to be rolled.
I think it was Sunny
Okay.
that Yes, that was really good.
Let's see here. Okay.
And all the wolves, Locanins, will go at the same turn. And I'm just gonna have all of them share.
Oh, good. They rolled 0. Fantastic.
I'm just gonna.
Oh my god, Roll20 is just going slow as hell for me.
Check your settings. Make sure you don't have the video and audio thing enabled in Roll20.
Oh yeah, I've got all that off. It's whenever I'm running Discord, it seems to go slow.
For some reason, like, voices in Discord are very quiet comparatively. Like, I have my volume on my headset at 100,
Alright.
but Discord is just really quiet.
And Mastiffs, I'll say that they just go in your turn, or should I just say, whatever.
Yeah,
Let's go in
if
your
you want, I can just order them on my turn to do stuff.
Yep. You'll turn 3 actions, and I'll say that you should still try to keep them to the what you think they would do, because they're not magically controlled by you.
Okay.
Just do what the good dog would do, I guess. Good hunting dog.
Be a
But
good
I'll say
puppy.
that
Who's a good boy?
it will first respect your command, and second, it will be a good hunting dog. And as long as you keep to
Okay.
that, it's fine. And yeah, Melkin is your turn. Bear
Okay,
is
so-
currently running away to the west direction of you guys, and all the hunters that seems to be there, as your shots out, you certainly have grabbed their attention, although you are not quite
Okay.
sure where they stand at the moment.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah, Melkin's just walking straight out,
They're surprised.
waving to him, pointing at the bear. Do you want help? No, I'm gonna nod to the dogs and have them just stay by my side at the moment. So they'll walk up next to me.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all I'm gonna do for now.
Your action, roll persuasion.
Okay.
And I'll set up a DC. Give me a... Okay, close my eye. DC has been set.
Okay.
Yes. I'll say 14 right now. We'll say it out. Yeah.
Oh my god, come on, scroll down. There we go. No, not that far.
With
Oh, come
10,
on.
At the moment, you do not feel any differences in their attitude. Oh, 14 is pretty easy for plus 7.
I've got +7 and I'm still failing it.
It's, yeah. Oh,
Wait.
that,
Oh no, you said you wanted me to mention it before.
Oh no.
There you are. Take it back.
there we go. Oh my god, I hate my internet. I want to kill my service provider. Yes, the Tide of Chaos is a once per short rest, right?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Once per long rest, and anytime I activate a wild magic surge, apparently I regain it.
Yeah. It comes with a cost in a way, so it should be used pretty valuably.
Yeah.
That's why I believe it's before the roll, technically, for advantage. But
Yeah, I just keep forgetting I have it, but yeah, hopefully I'll remember it when it counts now.
That's like me with inspiration. I always forget I have inspiration.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible with that too.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do for the Mastiffs?
No, right now I'm just kind of like telling them to stay with me for now. I'll let them loose when I figure out what's going on here.
Alright, and the bear... Run... I'll say that it seems to have a legs hurting away, and it moves only 30 feet. And... Sunny, it's